All right, I am setting my timer. Okay, Raphael. Okay, this is a self-portrait, supposedly of Raphael. Okay. Um, Raphael has a very distinct style. Once you know Raphael's style, you can almost always pick a Raphael. Okay. Look at the face. Here's a Raphael. Do you see some similarities in the face? It's not the same, but do you see some similarities? Here's another Raphael. This is a famous Florentine. Is he from Florence? I think he is. His name is Agnolo Doni. But doesn't he just kind of look like an old Raphael? You can definitely tell Raphaels once you know them. Raphael is known kind of for his portraits. And look back here. He definitely gives us an idea of where he's sitting. Okay. This one, Raphael is working with light, different lights and different darks. And look at this one. This is where we're going to spend the majority of our time with Raphael. Okay, Raphael was asked to paint quite a bit of the Pope's personal, offices and chambers in the Vatican and all kinds of good stuff. Okay, this is one particular room where, like, all four walls. You see two walls here, but like all four walls are different paintings that Raphael did for the Pope. And I believe it was one of the Medici popes, but I could be wrong. But anyway, he paints for the Pope. Okay. That being said, in this room in particular, like each wall is a different thing. Like one is about spirituality, God. This one is the most famous, and it's about intellectualism. Totally secular painting right in the middle of the Vatican, right in the middle of the Pope's chambers, his offices. Okay, look. A few things about this painting. First of all, it's huge. Okay. Second of all, is the depth. This is one of my most favorite paintings of all time. It's in my bedroom too. And this is another painting that I love to just pull down and just lay on the bed and just stare at it. Because again, every time I see this painting, I find something new. Guys, this is a wall. It's painted on a wall. It is a flat surface. Flat. But it's painted almost as if you're sitting on the ground and you're looking at a stage. Like the curtains have just been drawn and action. They're about to start a play. You should see action in this painting. He wants there to be action. This painting is called The School of Athens. Athens being in Greece. It was definitely an intellectual center during the classical period, okay? Like a lot of our big deal philosophers are from Athens. Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, they're from Athens, okay? That being said, one of the coolest things about this painting is how he gets such massive depth. I mean, it looks like you could just stick your hand straight in that painting. It does not look like a flat wall. It's just amazing. And one of the ways he gets depth is by all of these arches. Do you see all these arches? Look at this. These arches that start big and then they get smaller and smaller and smaller give the illusion of depth. But look, he also has an arch here a smaller arch here, smaller arches here, 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 here. And then we even have the illusion of an arch between their legs. So all of those smaller arches, that's what gives us the depth. Okay? Perspective and point of view. I could never paint like that. That's amazing. Okay, another one of the things about this painting that's really cool. Well, hold on. Another one of the things about this painting that's really cool is these are all real people. They're either people from the classical period, so from Greece and Rome or Persia, so from that time period, or they're Renaissance people, people from the time. Okay. Okay. Let me just kind of go quickly through here so you can just kind of look at everybody. And then I'll talk about specific people. Each person is so detailed. It's just amazing to me. And let's look at the architecture. Oh my gosh, sorry. You have all these Greek style statues in the background. And please remember, this is right in the middle of the Pope's office. Greek gods and goddesses. This is the goddess Athena. How do I know? Because of what's on her head. This is the goddess Athena, goddess of wisdom, goddess of like strategy and warfare. Okay. She was the goddess, like the patron goddess of Athens. It's kind of hard to see, but if you go back here, you have other statues of other gods and goddesses going all the way back. Yeah? Go to the other side. You have other statues of other gods and goddesses going all the way back. And this right here is Apollo, God Apollo. And then we start with our focal point, these two guys right here. Okay. You are looking at his version, Plato. My brain just died, of Plato right here and Aristotle right here. If you could look at this painting like real or like mine, that's an actual like print of this painting. Again, it's hard whenever I blow it up and it's all pixelated. But if you looked at this painting, there's actual names written on these books, and they're books written by Plato and by Aristotle. They are some of our Greek philosophers that are a big deal. Okay. Plato was the teacher to Aristotle. And what's cool is Plato talked a lot about like the world of the forms, up. Look, his finger is pointing up, the heavens. Aristotle was more of like he kind of straddled like philosophy and science. And so he actually has his hand doing this because he's talking earth, grounded, reality, not up there. Okay. The way that Raphael has painted Plato, he's made him supposedly to look like or to resemble Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. And then over here, you have like all these people here just listening. But then over here, we have another famous Greek philosopher right here, Socrates. Socrates, if he really existed. Ooh, there's a conspiracy theory there. Socrates, if he really existed, he was Plato's, this guy's teacher. And Socrates, what he pushed for a lot was discovering things for yourself using a question answer method. Today we call it the Socratic method, but he wanted his students to discover things on their own. He didn't tell his students, this is the way it is. He would simply like ask questions to get the students to discover things on their own. And I don't mean questions like, you tell me. That's not what he did. Like he would carry on an entire conversation. In pre-AP classes, I actually do this when I teach it, but if you want to know how it works, come see me in tutorials and we'll do it because I can do it. But it's called the Socratic method. Okay. That being said, he's talking to a group of people here who this guy right here, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was, of course, like an emperor from the Greek period who was actually the student of Aristotle. Aristotle taught Alexander the Great. So he has Alexander standing here listening to Socrates, who is somebody that Alexander would have never gotten to hear because, of course, he's dead by the time he's around, right? As we move this way, and y'all, I don't know who like every single person is in this painting. There's lists. If you want to know who all these people are, Google it. Just Google who are all the people in the painting School of Athens, and you'll find it. It's like everywhere. I don't know right off the top of my head, but these are the people that I like teach in pre-AP. So right here, if we come down this way, we have somebody who you all know and you all love. You love him. There's a place in your heart for him. Or you might have detected some sarcasm. Pythagoras, the Greek mathematician and philosopher Pythagoras. And he's teaching a group of people here. Teaching them some math. Probably teaching them some a squared equals b squared. Wait, a squared plus b squared, whatever, c squared, whatever, who cares? Okay, I really can do the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. I just don't know why it matters. Okay, right here, you have a guy who's like very deep in thought. He's like writing or drawing something very deep in thought. There's a lot of people who think Raphael painted this guy to resemble Michelangelo, another one of the Ninja Turtle painters. We'll talk about him in a minute. Michelangelo. Okay. Right here is I love the way he's sitting, is another philosopher from the classical period called Diogenes. I just love the way he's sitting. He's like all lounging, relaxed. And then we come over here and you see this guy right here. This guy. Okay, there's two different people who this could be. Like when you see this written out, you'll see Euclid / Archimedes. Euclid is the father of geometry. Thank God for Euclid. Euclid writes the first like book about geometry. You do Euclidean geometry. In fact, that word, when I just said that, Euclidean geometry, some of you guys just went ding ding ding. I've heard that before. That's the kind of geometry that is taught to you guys. Okay. Archimedes is a mathematician. He's the one that comes up with pi, 3.14, blah 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 blah. Okay. So that's him. These are some people over here that you don't know anything about. In pre-AP, we talk about them. Zoroaster. Zoroaster is like the Persian guy, like religion. And then this right here, Ptolemy. I will actually talk about Ptolemy for like 2 seconds with the geocentric theory, but he's a king, okay? The Ptolemaic period. So look at this painting. What do you think? You know what's really cool about this painting? There's somebody else in it. Somebody else staring at you. Where did my stupid arrow go? You guys, I swear. Oh, sheesh, man. He's just staring at you like, do you see me? Do you see me? Raphael is in this painting, looking directly at you. He's not in motion like everybody else is having a conversation or everybody else is teaching. He's looking directly at you. It's kind of like where's Waldo? Do you see him? see him? Don't say yes. If you're looking right here, that's Xeno something. Nope. See him? It gets all pixelated. But do you see right here? This guy right here. Get there. This might be a clearer picture. Oh, look right here. You can see books, like the names. I want you to see a close up of Raphael. There he is. Oh, it's little. Here we go. It's not too pixelated. He's just staring you down. He's staring directly into your soul. He's like, do you see me? Do you see me? Do you see me? Isn't that cool? He's just looking at you. Just staring. There's a sketch of it. Oh, no. That's a different painting. Do you see him? I love this painting. It is so cool. And again, that depth, whew, amazing. Okay. Michelangelo. Michelangelo is a pretty big deal. Here we go. Okay. Something else that I really want you guys to realize and remember, whatever. These men are all alive, they're all at the same time. Like when Leonardo's old, he's middle age, and Raphael's young. So just understand, they're all alive at the same time. Lorenzo de Medici, he's alive with Botticelli. He's alive with Leonardo da Vinci. Michelangelo is young. I would have to double check the dates for Raphael. But all of these men that we've talked about, they're all alive at the same time. They're all working in Florence and other places, but they're all alive and in Florence at the same time. Okay. Okay, Michelangelo, the last Ninja Turtle artist that we're going to talk about. Michelangelo thought he sucked as a painter, which is just crazy. But he really had a passion for sculpture, and he's pretty darn good at it. One of his famous sculptures, oh, just kidding. I thought it was here. It's not. Look at his sculptures. Guys, please remember when you're looking at sculptures like this, again, thanks SpongeBob. This is one block of white marble that he has taken a chisel and a hammer to, and he has gotten rid of everything that he doesn't want. I'd have broken this thing in a heartbeat. Where's my arrow? There it is. This right here is Moses from the Bible. Here we go. This is one of his most famous statues. It's called the Pieta. Pieta. I think I put it in your notes. Surely I did. I didn't. Well, sorry. The Pieta. Pieta. The Pieta is Mary and Jesus, and this is after the crucifixion. Okay, guys, this is one block of marble. It's just beautiful. One block of marble. Let's look at Mary first. This is rock. And you see expression on her face. She's holding her son, who's just died. And she looks sad and serene. Look at her dress. This is rock. It's not fabric laid on top. It's rock. And it looks like real fabric. Look at Jesus. He has died. Okay. He goes so far, Michelangelo goes so far as to put his veins in. Isn't that amazing? You see the bone right here. That's an impressive kneecap. When I draw people, when I paint people, I've never painted a kneecap on somebody. Never thought about it. Look at this. All of this fabric right here, all of this. It's rock. Look at this. Look at the feet. The veins are here. The ankle. You can even see the bones running down the toe, running down into the toes. He is that detailed with a piece of rock. But oddly enough, this isn't actually his most famous statue. You all know his most famous statue. All of you. Remember this movie? You've all seen it. Called The Goonies. And remember there's this character from The Goonies that we all love named Chunk? I think I showed you. If I didn't, then remind me and I will. When we went to the Goonies house and my brother stood in front of the Goonies house with the sloth mask and he did the truffle shuffle. Remember? I think I showed you that video. Unless I forgot. Otherwise, ask and I'll show you. You have seen the David statue. Remember this part right here?
I bet you guys thought I was gonna drop it, huh? I know you would think that from little.
Guys, the David statue is definitely Michelangelo's most famous statue. But interestingly enough, oh my gosh, I can't move. People hated it when he first did it. Why? Well, it's a religious statue, the David, right? But here we go. It's done in a secular way. Yes? Okay. The David statue is, I mean, this is David, King David, David and Goliath, right? But he's he's sculpted naked. So scandalous. Not only that, though, the thing about the David statue, you know how the Mona Lisa is like the perfect example of what a Renaissance woman should look like. Yeah, this is what a perfect Renaissance man, like idealized, would have looked like. So everything is very detailed. Everything looks very realistic, which is part of why I zoomed in. Okay. That being said, people were just horrified. It's also huge. So people kept it outside for forever. Nobody would like bring it inside. It actually like went through all kinds of stuff, like bombs and something about the arm, something about, I don't remember if it broke off completely or something, but all kinds of drama with the David statue. But it's realistic and totally proportioned and totally detailed. Guys, this is one giant piece of marble that again, he chiseled away everything he didn't want. I would have broken off an arm in 2 seconds. Let's look at some of it. Okay, we'll start here. I don't want to start with his face. We'll start here. Look at the detail on his neck. If you go to the mirror, whoa. If you go to the mirror, hold on, and you turn your neck, do you see this? Oh, there we go. That's what I was doing. you see that? That's what he did. Impressive. We have blood vessels coming down here. Look at this. Guys, your shoulder isn't straight across. You have this weird little, look at the collarbone. The collarbone is here. Yeah? Look at his hand. And kids always ask, they're like, what is he holding? He's holding a slingshot. David and Goliath's story. Yeah, that's supposed to be a slingshot, like going down his back. Okay. Look at his hand. Look at this. This right here. Look. I would never paint that on people. I would never think about it. The detail in this thing is just awesome. The way he does a belly button, I would never do a belly button that way, but it's what they look like. If I ever painted a belly button, it would be a circle. But they aren't circles. Go look at yours in the mirror. It's not a perfect circle. That's what it looks like. Okay. Look at the kneecaps again. I've never painted this. I would never think about it. And he adds in, I mean, you can see the bone in the shin. Isn't that cool? Look at this. You can see his, what is that, calf muscle here? So much detail. It's crazy. Look how big it is. The David statue, I can't remember how tall it is. It's like, I don't know, 20 feet or 17 feet or something. It's so tall. It's standing on this base, of course, but then itself, it's just massive. I love this picture right here because you can see, let me move my big old head, you can see compared size. It's huge. Here are some close-ups of some of the details in his hand. Next face. Yeah. Okay, look at the face. So much detail. Look at the eyes. Again, when I paint people's faces, I have never put this in somebody's eyeball. I never thought to be that detailed. You have it, that's what it looks like. But I've never thought about it. The lines in his face, the way his forehead's kind of wrinkled. Yeah? Look at his eye. His eye blows me away. Guys, this is not multiple pieces of rock like glued together. One solid piece. The way you get this dark here is you just dig in deeper. The way you get this line right here, you dig in deeper. If you were to run your fingers, your hands across his eyeball, you'd feel all the grooves and stuff, okay? Because it's not smooth. Right here, it's like a hole. Like you could stick your hand in it. Isn't that awesome? He even puts this right here, this piece, like where I put my eyeliner. Isn't that amazing? And people were so offended. Why? Because he's naked. Because he has a penis. So crazy. Michelangelo is also an architect. Is he a Renaissance man? He didn't design this whole building. This is called St. Peter's Basilica. Whenever you see like the Pope giving speeches often or whatever, this is where he is, right here. St. Peter's Square, where you see a lot of people gather for like Catholic stuff, that's here. What Michelangelo did is he did the dome. Do you remember when I showed you pictures of basilicas? Basically, they're square or rectangle buildings with flat roofs. That's all this was. until the 1400s when Michelangelo was paid to figure out a way to put something on top. Look, here's one of his sketches. Isn't that cool? He designed the dome. Now, not the Duomo Dome. There's another dome in Florence. This is in Vatican City, okay? He also is a painter. Oh, here it is, another view. Oh, there's the inside. I forgot I had this picture. Here's the inside, like looking up. Here we go. He also painted most of this. I don't know about you, but that does not excite me. It's a boring building, but not on the inside. You're looking at the Sistine Chapel. I hear kids all the time say 16. Sis, Sistine. It's not 6. There are not 15 other chapels. Sistine, okay? It's like the Pope's little chapel. Chapel is just a little church. And again, like it's such a boring building. If I didn't know better, I would literally just walk right past that and be like, it's ugly. But inside, oh my gosh. Okay, every single painting in here is not a Michelangelo. Every painting is not a Michelangelo, okay? The ceiling is his. I love this painting. It's one of my most favorites. It's called The Last Judgment. I'll get there. It's so cool. But other artists had a hand in this. Okay. When you, I think, aren't they in the Sistine Chapel? Like whenever a new pope is being chosen, I believe the cardinals are in the Sistine Chapel to choose them or to choose the pope. But anyway, it's just a small church chapel. Okay. The way the ceiling is, and I should tell you this, he didn't paint everything on his own. They're his sketches, they're his ideas, but he had a whole team working with him, working for him. So he would like give him the sketch, he would draw it, he would give him the I want this to be red and this to be green and blah blah blah, and then they would paint it with him. Okay? Let's look at the ceiling first. That's just amazing. And what's even cooler is every single thing. These are all different biblical saints in the Bible, people in the Bible. All of these. All these. Some of them aren't just saints in the Bible, some are after the Bible, but that's okay, like was written. In the middle here, we have a story, okay? Starting over here, we have the story of creation. These 3 panels I'll show you in a minute. And then here we have Adam and Eve. And then over here we have Noah and his flood. Basically, they look like this. See, we know who all these people are. David slays Goliath. We know who these people are. Okay. Let me start over here. So over here we have God creating 3 different panels. Here we have Adam and Eve, creation of Adam, Eve, and then, oops, the whole apple drama. Although it really wasn't an apple. And then over here, we have Noah. Noah and the flood and all that good stuff. Okay. So let's look at some of these up close because you know some of these paintings. This right here is called the creation of Adam. What you have seen often in stores, oh, I can't zoom in enough, but it's this, right? Some of you right now are going, we have that in our house. I know. But it's part of this bigger thing where you have God creating Adam and sending him down to earth. Okay, here's another one. This is Adam and Eve. And this is actually like two different panels, like two different things happening. On this side right here, you have Adam and Eve, and she's taking the fruit from the serpent. Okay. And then on this side over here, let me just move my head. On this side over here, you have Adam and Eve being banished from the Garden of Eden. And look, they look all nice and pretty. And now they've experienced knowledge and sin and stuff, they're all like, I think they look like witchy. Anyway, I don't know if I put any of Noah up here or not. I did. Oh, go back. There we go. This is Noah. And we have the flood here. You see all the water. And then you have Noah's Ark right here. And these are people that aren't going to last long, because they're going to get all by the water. The Last Judgment. One of the things that you need to know, Michelangelo painted the ceiling right here before something called the Reformation. If you look at your notes, look. Oops, sorry. Look. The Reformation is when we have new churches being created. People don't want to be Catholic, so they break away from the Catholic Church. Well, Michelangelo was Catholic, okay? He paints the Sistine Chapel ceiling before the Reformation, when he loves the Catholic Church very much. Then he paints the Last Judgment a little bit after that. I would have to look at the date specifically, but a little bit after the Reformation, when people are starting to break away from the Catholic Church, and he's a little bit distrustful of some of the Catholic like popes and all that. So this has a much darker vibe to it than the ceiling did. This is one of my most favorite paintings of all time. So cool. Look at it. Before we go anywhere, this painting is what you face in the Sistine Chapel, because he wanted people to look at and to think about and to question, where are you going to be when the Last Judgment occurs? Are you going to be in heaven? Or are you going to be damned for all eternity in hell? He wants people to think about that. He actually paints this to resemble a skull, to make people think about death. Look, I personally think it looks like Darth Vader. Look right here. Don't you see Darth Vader's helmet there? But it's supposed to resemble like skull eyes. And then here's that skull nose thing. And then the mouth. It's supposed to resemble that. It's supposed to make you think, oh yeah, death. Okay. In the center, you have God, Jesus. Okay. And you have Mary over here. Jesus/God is judging the people on this side of the painting. Okay. He has done this painting like, here's earth. Do you see the green? This right here is something called purgatory. If you're Catholic, you're like, okay. If you're not, just hold on, I'll explain it in a minute. But this right here is purgatory. Okay. And then this up here is heaven. And these people here, this side is going up to heaven. This side is, these people are going down. Okay. So he's kind of done it like a cycle. All right. That being said, God/Jesus here in the middle is judging. This isn't the meek, peaceful Jesus. This is the Last Judgment Jesus. This is the book of Revelation Jesus. This is the judge. In fact, look at Mary. Mary's like turning her face like I can't watch. If you look over here, the people that are surrounding God slash Jesus right here, these are saints from the Bible. Okay, you have all different saints. If you know biblical stuff, you know who some of these people are. Peter from the Bible is this one right here. This big guy right here, he's even holding like the keys. This one right here is interesting. Oh crap, I just forgot his name. Bartholomew. This is Saint Bartholomew, and he's like holding his own skin because he was skinned alive for being a Christian. He was a martyr. All these are martyrs. Michelangelo supposedly painted his skin to look like Michelangelo's face, which is interesting. There's a pope in here somewhere, but I don't even know where he is. So anyway, all of these people right here are saints, biblical saints, people from the Bible. Okay, these are people in heaven. Here, you see the cross and stuff, yeah. And then let's look at purgatory. Well, here in the middle, you have the angels that in the book of Revelation, they're gonna blow on their horns, and that kind of symbols or whatever the beginning of the end times. Okay, and then over here on this side of purgatory, purgatory is like this idea of like a waiting place where you have you ever heard of like a Catholic say like if somebody's dead and they'll say, well, I'll pray for his soul, and you're like, why? He's dead. That's why. The idea is people pray for you to not get stuck in purgatory. Okay? These people are being prayed, big old booty here, is being prayed out of purgatory, and he's on his way to heaven. Right here, he's on his way up. This guy right here, he's on his way up. This guy right here, he's on his way up. Okay, these people are being pulled up from purgatory into heaven. Look at the other side. On the other side, nobody's going up into heaven. Do you see that? Like we have a guy that's like, come on, right here. But nobody's actively moving up like we see here into the clouds. In fact, oops. And I just love this guy. He's just sitting there. You see him? And like a demon's pulling him down. If you look down here, this side right here, this is earth. You see all the green here? Okay. The idea is like the dead in Christ will rise. Like these are the spirits. And he paints them in such a way where they actually look different. They almost look see-through from the bodies. Their spirits are going up. Do you see that? These are people who have been buried. He's moving up. This right here, this guy's being pulled up while a demon is pulling him down. Is the angel going to be able to pull him up? Or is the demon going to be able to pull him down? He is on this side of the painting. Oh, wait. It's backwards for me. This side of the painting, though. Okay, look right here. We have some little demons here under the ground. And then he does something really interesting. Look at this. This right here. This guy right here is someone named Charon. Sometimes you'll hear people call him Charon or Sharon. It's Charon. Charon is from like Greek mythology. He carries the souls of the dead across the river Styx, into the afterlife. He's the one, like if you've seen Percy Jackson, they go to him, okay, they give him the coins. Whenever you see like in movies, people burying the dead with coins on their eyes. The idea is you give those coins to the riverman, Charon, and he'll take you across the river Styx into the afterlife. Well, by the way, this is in a chapel. And we have demons. And we have a Greek guy. So this is a religious painting, but it's definitely secularized. It's worldly as well. And if you notice, he's not just taking these people into the afterlife, he's taking them to hell. And they're all like trying to get out. They're like, oh, I don't want to go, right? They're being pulled down by some demons and all kinds of stuff. This is very Dante-esque. Oh, we didn't talk about Dante in this class. We do in Pray Pete. Don't worry about it. Or Google it. Dante. Dante's Levels of Hell. It's just a book. It's not like true. It's just a book, a medieval book. Anyway, what I also want to point out, look right here. This is in a chapel, in a church. Wait, I can't. Where's my mouse? I lose the mouse if I zoom in too much. Sorry. Look right here. See these horns? This is in a chapel. Who is that? This painting has a lot going on. So cool. It has a lot to say. And again, look at where it is. It's in this gorgeous chapel. And it's what you face. Right there. They're sitting right there. I'm pointing at them. Shocking. Charon. He's right here. This Greek character stands right where right above where the Pope would. It's so interesting. Were there some people that had issue with this? Yeah. There were people who wanted to cover up. Let me go back. There were people who wanted to cover up all of the nudity that you see here. There were some paintings that were covered up. I honestly don't know if this is one of them and then it was restored and changed back later. I don't know. But there were some that were covered up. Like they put little fig leaves over a whole bunch of the statues. Just crazy. But what do you think of Michelangelo? And I'm always curious, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? I know we didn't look at Donatello's art. Who do you think is the best painter? Just think, Michelangelo, Raphael, or Leonardo? Who do you think is the best all around, best at everything, the best Renaissance man? Michelangelo, Raphael, or Leonardo? I just always like to know. So when I ask you, now you know. Yeah? All right. Next video, the Protestant Reformation.